Welcome to a new episode of Historic Homes of Coral Gables. Today we will explore a beautiful antebellum home that sits in one of the most desirable locations of the city Beautiful. The Granada House, owned by Miss June and Alan Morris, a successful local developer, is known to actively participate in community events. The house opened its doors for a good cause at the last tour of kitchens, welcoming nearly 250 participants.
I think of it as something that I want to preserve as a gift to the people of Coral Gables, and one of the reasons I opened the house for the tour of homes and for the tour of kitchens for the Coral Gables Community Foundation and for the city of Coral Gables, to give back, because we're so grateful for being entrusted to this beautiful place. And it may be very presumptuous because there's wonderful houses on Granada Boulevard, and this is just one.
Although the city has not officially designated this house as a historic property, this antebellum home is a perfect example of Greek Revival architecture. Antebellum, which means pre-war in Latin, refers to the homes that were built in the American South during the 30 years preceding Civil War. Antebellum homes feature symmetrical facades embellished by Greek-style pillars and columns, evenly spaced windows, access doors in the front and the rear of the house, plus countless elaborated details inside and out.
Well, the Granada House was originally built in 1956 by Gerald and Dorothy Wright. The architect was Frank McCall, who was a very famous architect at the time from Macon, Georgia, who designed some of the most beautiful antebellum homes in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Macon and Savannah. They brought him down to Miami to design their home here on Granada Boulevard. And it's the only house that I know of that Frank McCall designed in Miami.
This 7-bedroom, 11-bathroom house sits on the Granada Golf Course, providing an incredible view of the Biltmore Hotel day and night.
It's so nice of them to put the Biltmore right there, just for us.
The Biltmore makes a nice nightlight at night. It lights my path all night long because it's lit up. The tower of the Biltmore is lit up. It is a beautiful backdrop during the day and at night. It's a changing scene. It's almost surreal. And it's a beautiful backdrop to this elegant home.
And back when Hurricane Andrew hit in 1992, when the screen came down, I used that opportunity to rebuild it with a 2-story screen. So it's like a large dome appearance that creates a whole new enclosure feeling, having a 2-story screen enclosure out and back. At the time I was told it was the largest screen enclosure approved in Dade County. But it just creates a wonderful ambiance that I enjoy out there. It keeps the bugs out, keeps the leaves out, and keeps the golf balls out, because we're right here on the Biltmore Golf Course on the green. And so those who are bad golfers like me will often hit the ball into our screen, and I designed it with a cantilever so that the ball would roll back to the golfer out on the course. We've tried to bring a lot of life into the house in other ways, like the coral reef aquarium and the aviary with the birds out on the patio, and the spa, a movement of water and a movement of life around the house that I enjoy, that I think is fun.
And there's a flow as well. When we bring people through, we have the French doors leading out on both sides to the patio, in here, the garden room, as well as the French doors in the kitchen. And so when we have large crowds here, and we have up to 250 people here for gatherings, they will go out through these doors and come back in through the kitchen. When we have the tour of kitchens, there was a similar flow to that, and it makes it very easy This house, because of its historic nature, has this welcoming feel about it. You have large homes with great big rooms, and sometimes it loses that intimacy. But there's something about this house that seems to welcome people as they come in the door. It has a warmth to it that I think is part of its southern charm that's intended because it has a southern architect, and it does harken back to an earlier age.
When we come back to historic homes, we will take you inside the Granada House, discovering amazing details of good taste and unique rooms that will leave you breathless.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put that out.
Part of the graciousness of the house that was originally designed by Frank McCall and that has been a great ceremonial part of the house is the winding staircase leading down to a marble foyer of black and white marble with a bronze medallion in the center of the foyer. And you couldn't invent a more grand entrance than to have one of my daughters walking down the stairway, or having June walk down the stairway. And oftentimes when we'll have a party or a gathering at the house, we'll get everybody up onto the winding staircase for a photograph to memorialize the event.
One antebellum house that has been forever memorialized in the movie Gone with the Wind is the Tara Plantation. The famous plantation has served for decades as an inspiration for antebellum-style properties, including the Morris's home.
It's the drive up to the house. It looks like Tara. And then when you enter it, you do have this grand entry with that beautiful winding staircase. And you remember Scarlett and Rhett on that staircase in various dramatic scenes.
Kathleen, who's that? Who? That man looking at us and smiling. The nasty dog.
My dear, don't you know? That's Rhett Butler. He's from Charleston. He has a most terrible reputation.
The first time I saw this house, it reminded me of one of my favorite movies, Gone with the Wind. So now I have my Rhett Butler.
When I develop a building, whether it's an office building or a mixed-use project, my intention is to create an experience so that when people come in the front door, they touch the handle or they enter, that you get a wow. You surprise them with something they don't expect. And so this was pure fun for me and for June and I to create an experience where no matter which room I walked into, I wanted it to give me something to smile or laugh about, that I would chuckle when I would go into the media center. We put in this great sound system, audio-video system, with a 12-foot parabolic screen and a starlight ceiling, and we put in old movie posters of some of my favorite movies, and so it creates a real playful environment, and there's also a working fireplace in that room. Or into the garden room here and have some of my favorite photographs that I've taken myself on safari, or that June and I have taken on safari together, with the animals that we love. Some of the things that create life and a sense of humor and playfulness in every room.
Some say that elegance is in the details, and this seems to be particularly true in the Morris's home. They have carefully chosen unique accessories for their home, including napkins and towels engraved with the logo of their home.
The logo for the Granada House is a picture of the house itself with the year that it was built, 1956, on it, printed on all of the towels and the napkins and the placemats and things like that in the house. I think the place that's most popular with everybody is the kitchen, because everybody wants to gather around the island in the kitchen when we're entertaining. What message do we want visitors to take home after visiting the house? I would say that they felt very comfortable, very welcome, and very much at home, and that it was all playful. There was nothing serious or stodgy or stuffy, that it was all for fun, for fun and relaxation.
When we come back to Historic Homes, we will take you into the Granada House wine cellar, a special place to be, full of exquisite details and good wine.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the went up the.
Get proper nutrition before it's too late.
I forget.
Call or visit WIC. WIC provides nutrition information, healthcare referrals, even food. Your child has you, and you have WIC.
Well, when you come in the front door of the house and you turn to the right and look in the formal dining room, you can see across the dining room a wrought iron glass door, and you can see a glow behind that door, and the idea is to pique your interest, to wonder, what is that in there? What's in that room? And so as you approach it, you can see the low lights in the wine cellar lighting up the wine racks and the chandelier and the stained glass window. The wine cellar we created in the last renovation of the house that we just finished this past year, and it is flows through the dining room into the wine cellar, and you can see the glow of the wine on the racks as you look through the dining room. And I love that because it's kind of a teaser. It entices you to come in and want to see what's in there. And so the idea is to enter into that room, and then you can see things like the mahogany doors from Honduras that are hand carved with scenes of the harvesting and the making of the wine, and some of my favorite quotes on the wall, and things that make it fun and a little frivolous. Other people, the first thing they want to do is say, let's go to the wine cellar. They want to go to the wine cellar, and we'll all be in there freezing to death, and nobody wants to leave because they're having so much fun tasting wines or looking at the stained glass window in the wine cellar. And so it's a wonderful, fun way to entertain, to bring people in through the dining room into the wine cellar, and then either through into the kitchen to sit at the island in the kitchen for casual dining or casual hors d'oeuvres, and then to move into the dining room for a formal dinner, or into the theater, or out into the gazebo. So it's a lot of fun for entertaining. It's a house really made for entertaining. And I love the way it was originally designed and built, and we just tried to enhance it when we did a complete renovation in the last year. So we just hope everyone enjoys it. I want to be true to the original intent of the house in everything that we do, to preserve that Georgian antebellum look. I just feel so grateful all the time that the original designer and builder of the house put so much care into it, and I really want to preserve that care and thoughtfulness that they put into the house.
Thank you to June and Alan Morris for preserving such a magnificent property in the City Beautiful. And thank you for watching another episode of Historic Homes of Coral Gables. See you next time.